It is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. An entire sovereign nation surrounded by a single city. The Vatican. For centuries, it has influenced world events, perhaps more than any other country on Earth. How could the world's smallest country wield such power? Secrets. The secrets it holds behind these very walls.
It's a secret place for many reasons, and one is that it gets up to things it doesn't want people to know about.
This is the setting for Dan Brown's best-selling book, Angels and Demons. But are dark forces trying to destroy the church, as Dan Brown suggests?
I think secret societies evolved at that time and came about through a reaction to the ominous presence of the Catholic Church.
Could an ancient cult rise again to infiltrate Vatican security and assassinate a pope?
Popes have undoubtedly been murdered.
Could this same secret society be planning to take over world governments?
The agenda of all secret societies is to rule the masses so that the masses become slaves, fodder, malleable, useful, eliminatable laboratory animals.
And does this, the dollar bill, hold the secret to a new world order?
We have New World Order right here on our dollar bills, and yet most people are unaware of this.
One person is on a mission to uncover the answers to these very questions and more that are raised in Dan Brown's frightening book. Simon Cox, along with other noted experts, are about to tell us what's fact, what's fiction, and what has yet to be revealed. Rome, once the ruler of the Western world. Today, this nation city is both the cultural nerve center of Italy and the setting of Dan Brown's best-selling novel, Angels and Demons.
Rome is an amazing place. It's a city that is like none other than I've ever seen. It's a kind of revelation in the sense that at every turn there's something new. It's like a palimpsest, which is a manuscript in which something's been written, but it's been written over a pre-existing text that's been erased, which itself was written over a previous text that's been erased, so that it's layer upon layer, and it's that layering that is the city of Rome, endless and deep. When you turn a corner, there's a modern building sitting on a Roman building, sitting on something earlier still, and at every corner, at every turn is a new discovery.
But it's not only ancient buildings which lay hidden beneath Rome's streets. In the city where Caesar was murdered, where Constantine helped engineer the emerging religion of Christianity, a new and sinister society reportedly existed. The Illuminati, the Illuminated. Dan Brown's Angels and Demons raises vital questions. Do they still exist? And if they do, who are they?
The central theme within Angels and Demons is this idea of a secret society called the Illuminati. Did they really exist? If so, what period of history? Are they still around? These are questions that are really thrown at us from the book, and Dan Brown tries to answer them by saying, yes, they're a real secret society. They still exist today. They still exert influence and pressure, just as they did through history.
Historian Simon Cox has made a career of studying the past. Now he's making a career investigating the theories behind Dan Brown's mysteries. In his newest book, Illuminating Angels and Demons, Cox finds himself on the trail of the Illuminati, much like Dan Brown's hero, and for good reason.
It's a book that deals with secret societies, with Christianity and its interaction through the ages with us as people, as man, and the idea that there may actually be some other hidden thread of knowledge, of illumination that runs through that.
In the novel, a secret society known as the Illuminati sets out to destroy the Vatican and alter the course of world events. For writer and conspiracy theorist Jim Marrs, the threat is real.
The final goal of the Illuminati is world domination. They go into great detail as to how they're going to accomplish this. They want to educate the young and convert them to their way of thinking. They want to destroy faith and confidence not only in the political systems but in religion.
Fact is slightly different really to the fiction that Dan Brown has brought forward in Angels and Demons, in so much as the Illuminati, through my research I found, did exist as a real society. In fact, there were several different versions of the Illuminati. You have Illuminati springing up in southern France, in Spain.
A look through history books shows that over the centuries, several groups have taken on this name. In Spain, they were persecuted, burned at the stake by the Catholic Church during the famous Inquisitions. But the mystery doesn't stop there.
They're disparate groups, they're not groups that are linked. And the word Illuminati, or illuminated ones, or ones who see the light, is actually, when you think about it, would be a pretty normal name for various groups who want to be enlightened. And so I think that as a coherent body of people, a coherent secret society that has lasted throughout history, stretching all the way back to Egyptian times and through to the modern era, I think it's a non-starter. I don't think you have evidence for that. However, we certainly have evidence that a group called the Illuminati, who may well have existed through to modern times, certainly started in the 1770s in Bavaria.
The Illuminati was a secret society supposedly formed in the spring of 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, who had been trained by the Jesuits.
Devin Jackson is an investigative journalist for some of the most important publications of today. He believes the name Weishaupt is no accident. Jackson suggests that the name was fictitious, part of a secret code used throughout Europe that was the beginning of a fight by elite members of science against church-sponsored governments. Even more, Jackson believes the Illuminati may have started long before Adam Weishaupt took on the name. The question raised, however, is why would such a battle even exist?
The Illuminati came into existence around the time of Galileo because of having this need to explore further and questioning things. And it was in an age of science was burgeoning and kind of busting out, literally almost, out of the confines of the Catholic Church. And so you had all these people like Galileo and up into the 18th and 19th century when exploration and this need for finding out things, how things worked in nature or in the universe, they just really had that need to find that out.
I think in earlier centuries the church probably was anti-science because they feared a conflict between their dogma and scientific knowledge.
Did Dan Brown have it right? Could the Illuminati still exist? Could they be trying to destroy world governments? In his investigation, Simon Cox believes the beginning of that answer lies in the very title of Dan Brown's book. A title that may lead us directly to the Illuminati.
The book Angels and Demons, I think, is titled so because what you have here in Dan Brown's estimation, I think, is the idea of the study of light and dark. And so you have this study in dualism. On the one side, we're not sure who the angels are. We're not sure whether the angels is the church or science, because this is a book about church versus science. On the other side, you have the demons. Are the demons science? Is it the church? We're unsure about this. And I think that that's the reasoning behind the title. I think it's quite a clever title to use.
Angels and Demons is a great title. It does sum up very well the duality of the book and the theme of angels that runs through it in the Bernini statues that form the clues that run throughout the book.
In Angels and Demons, the Illuminati gather in secret meeting places throughout ancient Rome. Each location anchors a surreptitious trail that Dan Brown calls the Path of Illumination. And each location is filled with Bernini's masterpieces, which allegedly hold clues to this subversive path, including his most famous work, The Ecstasy of St. Teresa. Her hand allegedly points towards this path of illumination.